This is Carrie O'Donnell from Tarot by Lavina. And if you would like a personal reading with me, please go to my website, tarotbylavina.com, and set up an appointment with me. So today is Quicky Political Tarot Day, and I had a short amount of time tonight, so I thought that I would just focus on Vladimir Putin. I haven't done a straight up reading about him. I've asked questions about him on this show and other people's shows. I have a general sense of what's coming up for him, but I would like to get some more information. So I'm going to call this video The Fate of Vladimir Putin. And that's what I want to ask the cards. What is the fate of Vladimir Putin? How is his journey from here going to progress? Let's take a look. All right, so the first card that I pulled, no surprise here, is the Emperor. And that's exactly what he wants. He's acting like the Emperor. He wants to be the ruler of the world. He wants control. He wants power. I mean, that's him in a nutshell right here. So he begins the reading. The next card is the Eight of Pentacles. That's the working card. It's like taking things step by step, day by day. There are a couple things I feel like I'm getting off of this card. First, I think with Putin himself, he is working very hard, like literally trying to take things day by day, just to reach his goal. I think he felt this was going to be easier. I think he's been reduced to thinking about things in increments and steps, trying to work it, feeling like, okay, we'll take things one step at a time now, which wasn't his energy in the beginning of this invasion of Ukraine. I'm also feeling like this is how people in the world are dealing with Putin. So there's a sense of you can't make any sudden moves. We have to take things step by step in increments. There's that kind of energy going on, both how to deal with him and how Putin is trying to reach his goals at this point. Now, the Four of Wands here is reversed. This is my archetype for tarnished beauty, things not being like you imagine them to be. It is a rite of passage card. Sometimes I get this card when people have to sell the family home or move to a new phase of life. And that's exactly, I think, what we're getting with Putin. I think the realization is that he is going to go through a rite of passage. This isn't what he thought it would be. Part of me is feeling too, that's that tarnished beauty. It's kind of how he thinks about the past. The fact that Russia was great in the past. This is his narrative. And now, everything is different. The world isn't like it used to be when we were great. I don't read death. I don't read physical death. I don't know if this rite of passage is actually a physical death for him. But at the very least, I think I get a feeling of him reflecting on his own mortality. Just a sense that he knows that something is coming to an end for him in his life cycle. And was it all worth it? Because he feels like he can't achieve his goal. That's what I'm getting here. He is going to be moving toward something different. And the outcome card here is the Hermit card. Now, there's a couple ways I can read this, but the first thing I'm getting is with that lantern that the Hermit is holding. That is truth. That is the light. The Hermit is shining the light, and that light of truth is coming forth in the world. It's coming forth in Russia. I feel like Russia is learning the truth. Russia is starting to feel like we're completely isolated here, the Hermit. Russia is isolated. What have you done to us? This is the truth. There's a feeling of despair here. So I'm getting that from, say, the country of Russia in general. Like that's the energy here. I do feel like the Russian people are finding out what's really going on and are not liking it. I think as far as Putin's fate, this could literally mean banishment or being cast out, since it's the Hermit. And if this rite of passage card means a physical death, which I don't know because I just don't go there, this could be him, moving on to a place where he has to learn truth, where he has to learn his lessons, where the light shines on him. Either way, it is showing that Putin is done, that his fate, at the very least, is isolation in his own country. I asked for some clarifiers, and I did get my Tyrant card, the King of Swords reversed. So upright. Here he is. I will tell you, my King of Swords reverse card is usually a tyrant card, an abuser, a person who doesn't care about anybody but himself. Sometimes it's a violent man. That does describe Putin and his personality. He is not going into this good night quietly. He's going down violently. He's going down screaming and being horrible to the very end, whatever that end is, whether he's removed or whether he passes away. And I feel like if that's the case, he's not dying a natural death, because there is a sense of fighting and violence here at the very end. I'm also getting my Page of Pentacles reversed, and that's a mistake. Or like when you mess up, when you, and I'm starting to think he's angry because he feels like he made some mistakes. He made some errors. He has regrets here at the end. And it's interesting that the Page is all about, sometimes it's about money or business that could be falling apart for him. But sometimes it's about learning and not being able to learn the lessons. In some ways, not being practical, not being pragmatic, being a little bit over the top. And that's what he's going to have regrets about. Whether he has these regrets on the other side or whether he has regrets here, I'm feeling sort of a life review situation here. And that doesn't necessarily mean he's going to die right away. I think when we get older, especially if we're kind of facing the end of a certain era in our lives, we can reflect and we can think about all the things that we did wrong. I just think with Putin's energy, that King of Swords energy, he's still fighting to the end. Like, if only they had done this or they had done that, or he listened to me, or there's a lot of blame here. I get violence. It doesn't look good for Putin. And I asked for an oracle card, and I did use my Mystic Martian oracle card. And I pulled the golden ratio. And this is sort of a natural order, a natural rule. And it even says beauty, nature, and patterns. And the first thing I'm getting is this is a pattern that has been going on in humankind. The tyrant or the autocrat, the dictator, they rise. They want ultimate power. That emperor, they want it all. There's greed, there's abuse. And to the extreme, we saw World War II, where the entire world almost came to their knees because of one man. And I feel like this is a cycle or a pattern that's coming to an end. That's the feeling that I'm getting. Like Putin is the last one where the world learns some sort of lesson. There's also a sense that it's a natural rule. It's natural order. And he is not following or being part of the natural order of things. It's a sense that humanity is coming to terms with balance and how we can all live in balance. And maybe this is the lesson that we all learn at the end of Putin's reign. Let me just ask a final question here. I know time is hard. Time is never really good with me. But I do want to know, I mean, it looks pretty clear that Putin's coming to an end here. But I want to know, is this war going to end and Putin be taken down from power in the next 6 months? Or is it going to take longer than 6 months? So I'm going to use 6 months as the litmus test. Will Putin be taken out of power in the next 6 months? All right. So here we have the King of Swords. This time he's upright. Now, the King of Swords upright is usually a man who's standing for truth and justice. Could be Zelensky. It's not usually the Zelensky card, which I know sometimes could be the King of Wands. But I do get a sense that someone is holding him back. And this could represent the energy in the world as a whole, too. Sort of, you can't go any further than this. We're done. The other thing that I'm thinking of, it could be Russia herself, because Russia, the truth was being shined on Russia. Like, people were going to start to realize the truth and the fact that the whole world was against them. So this could actually even represent the energy of their own people, or Russia's own people, standing up for truth, standing up for that truthful energy and saying, enough, no more. Then I get the Knight of Cups reverse, the false knight. There's a lot of manipulation here, using emotion to try to manipulate people, cheating, lying. So even though in the face of truth, of that energy, you know, he's still kind of wiggling around here. There are still a lot of disinformation. I feel like there's going to be a lot of lies. So again, it's kind of like that energy he's going to fight till the very end. Then I get the Wheel of Fortune, a big change, right? And this is good news for us. It's change for the better. And then there's a happy ending. And I wanted to clarify, because I am asking about, will he be removed? And I do get the Seven of Swords reversed. This is about truth again. This is the thief. This is the criminal, and it's reversed, kind of like we got him. And then I have the Hierophant reversed. And that could be a government card when it's upright. So it's like, no government. Like, I'm not in the government. We've gotten the criminal. There's, you know, no government. He's not in the government, and it's a happy ending for everybody, not just the world, but Russia. This looks like he is no longer in power within 6 months. Now, how fast? Is it tomorrow? Is it the full 6 months? I just kind of left it with a range of time. But I'm not getting a long, drawn out conflict with him. I don't think he's going to last that long. And the change is happy. I mean, he's fighting in the present. Like I said, lots of lies, lots of disinformation. But it's not going to last long. It's not going to last long. I'm just looking at the astrology and the cards. There is a lot of spring energy here. So this could even happen by the end of May, beginning of June. But I'm not really good at predicting that fully. I feel like sometimes I'm either right on or I'm off. I know timing is very hard, but at least if we take that within a range, 6 months, it looks like they've taken him out of power. And it feels like to me, with that light shining and that feeling of the Russian people knowing the truth, I think it's going to be by the Russian people. I think that that's what this King of Swords is about. It's kind of like someone else in Russia, another ruler or another group that's saying enough, here's the boundaries. Yeah, I think the bigger question is he going to be put in isolation? Is he actually just going to fight to the point where violence is the only option to get him out? I'm going to leave that up to God, but there is a rite of passage. At the end of the day, he is going through a rite of passage, and that is either a change in his life that's huge, like complete isolation as a ruler, no longer being the ruler of Russia, or the rite of passage is actually a physical death. It looks like Putin's reign is coming to an end, and I'm getting within a 6-month period. And that is my reading on the fate of Vladimir Putin. Just some news updates. I'm going to be on Circle of Friends with Allie and Kelly, and that's going to be tomorrow night at 7 p.m. And as soon as I get a link, I'll put that in my community page. Now that my community page is up and running, I'm also going to start a thread in the community page to ask for questions for political readings. So starting next Wednesday, if there are particular questions, either spiritual or political, I'm not going to do personal questions though on Wednesdays. It's just going to be spiritual questions or political questions. And you can add those questions to my community board and I can do them in the next week. So I'll set that up for you. Till we meet again, you all have a great night. Bye-bye.